Good morning.
Doc was there.
Great Scott.
Was there.
Okay, it's right behind us. But welcome back to another Universal. I have a watch. You have a power up band. Universal Studios Hollywood construction update today. We're back here at Universal Studios Hollywood. So let's get rolling. So we are here with Mr. Theme Park Shark.
I am wearing the shirt today.
I noticed.
How you guys doing? How's it doing? Are you having a great morning, day, afternoon, night? You tell me. Any questions?
No, I don't know what to say to that. All right, well, let's get straight into the Horror Night updates and Universal updates. First of all, I want to start off in the plaza because they've officially started on the Dia de los Muertos decorations, and they're getting ready slowly but surely. Every day I'm seeing something new. Yesterday they just brought in these props over here, which are looking fantastic. These are all reused props they've been bringing back every single year, and this is actually going to be the third year they celebrate Dia de los Muertos during Halloween Horror Nights. They're gonna set up a little bar, a taco stand, and of course a lot of seating, lighting, and I'm excited for that taco stand because each year they bring back these delicious birria tacos, probably the best birria tacos you can get inside of a theme park. That's a little kick to Disney right there. But they also have an elote and different snacks. So I'm excited to try that out this year and see if it's just as good. It's been good every year so far. But for the bar, we don't know any of the drinks that are making a return quite yet. Just stay tuned. I'll talk about that sooner or later. Do you have any thoughts?
Just when you talk about the food being so good, and especially being like one of the better theme park versions of the taco, like it makes me want to come back into Horror Nights or come into Horror Nights. But I mean, as you guys know, like I don't do it. But I feel like maybe like the food or like a house one day is gonna push me over the edge, and the food could do it.
Yeah.
Especially the barbecue, the Chucky barbecue. Yes.
Well, right now there's a huge rumor that there's a show going into Waterworld, because if you walk into the Waterworld Stadium, which we'll probably go check out, they have lights set up around the entire stadium and a big stand. So the rumor is that we might get a show in the Waterworld Stadium. Maybe Jabberwocky's in the Waterworld Stadium because they don't...
on water?
That'd be crazy because they don't have the special effects stage, and that's usually where they would implement a show for Horror Nights, but that was obviously torn down.
Would you be excited to see a show go in the water? Because I'm sure like we're just so used to Waterworld being in there. Like,
yeah.
How excited would you be for that?
I'd be pretty excited. We used to have shows earlier in maybe 2008, 2009 Halloween Horror Nights. I actually didn't attend any Horror Night. This will be my first time seeing a Horror Night show in the Waterworld Stadium if they do that. But I started attending the event in 2011. They have some more props set up around the plaza. Some of these are new, some of these are old. They have some barrels. And then they have a food booth over there, the killer snacks. That usually sits out all year. They usually switch out the sign throughout the year. So this is probably not what they're gonna sell here. They have popcorn, jumbo donuts, candy apples, cupcakes. That was made for the 2018 Halloween Horror Nights. And what I noticed that they do is they put a sign on top of the sign covering that, and they update it with whatever they're offering this year. Over here, they obviously brought back the hearse. Is that what this is called? Hearse? The little car that they carry dead bodies in before funerals.
Yeah,
I think they're called hearses. But they brought back this same hearse they bring back almost every year now, which I love it. I love the wrap. I love the designs all over the hearse. And over here they have a little box set up. Not too sure what's going on inside of this box, but I really like it. It's really spooky, really eerie. If you guys know what this is, let me know. But they normally carry a plaque in front of this piece of art. Last year it was La Llorona. They had a little description about who made the art piece and what La Llorona is. This year I'm not too sure what this is. I'm not too sure. I don't know if this is a Mexican legend, or maybe it's something else. We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully they add a plaque talking about that. But doesn't look like they're quite done. There's a few candles that are just that have fallen out, and I don't know if that's on purpose, but there is some exposed wire. I'm assuming they're still working on this, though. We'll keep a close eye onto this little boxed prop. And over here, they have a few carnival games that are being set up. I'm surprised they're setting up those carnival games this early on. And the event doesn't start for another 25, 26 days, I want to say. And we're actually in the Waterworld show now. And you guys can see they set up some lights and gobos, which are very nice. They have them all around the theater. It's weird. I don't know why they would have that. And then look at this big stage up there. It's not necessarily a stage, but it looks like a projection booth. Really, really interesting. So for Horror Nights, they normally have the Jabberwocky show. And we think they might just have the Jabberwockies dance around the theater. That'd be really funny. Or maybe it's just for a separate event. Who knows? Alright, so now walking down Parisian Street, or French Street, they have a lot of props, a lot of new props, in fact, for Halloween Horror Nights, which is nice. Love props. I love when they have more and more props, and it looks like there's a little spooky lady in here. Yes, I love when they decorate the theme park for Halloween Horror Nights. I feel like that adds a whole new level of immersion into the theme park, especially during Halloween Horror Nights. It gets you into that Halloween mood. When you're in the park, when you're in the event, you expect there to be spooky music, you expect there to be spooky lighting, you expect to see some spooky props. And I'm saying spooky a little too much right now, but we're starting to get some of those Halloween props out right now, which is nice. I'm waiting for a little more. I'm sure they will decorate all of this area. I'm sure they'll decorate the opposite end as well. Probably not as much as the side I'm currently on right now. But since this entire scare zone is themed to mumias, I would love to see some mummies, some mummy props, some ancient props. That would add a lot to this area. So we'll see. They still haven't decorated the main scare zone in the front. I'm sure once we get that scare zone announcement, they'll start decorating, because if they add at least one decoration in that main scare zone, it'll give away that theme that they haven't announced quite yet. John Murdy just tweeted out an hour ago that there is still one huge announcement waiting for the scare zones and etc. What is that etc? We don't know. Could be shows. Could be more scare zones. Maybe another maze. Who knows? Probably not another maze. That'd be pretty cool though. That'd be pretty cool if they announced one more maze that we were not expecting. Now I'm gonna walk towards this direction because last night they were testing some of the lighting on the facade for the Monstros, the Monsters of Latin America Haunted House. And it looked phenomenal. It looked really, really nice. Very spooky, very eerie. And I can't wait till they fill this area with fog and some of that creepy music. I'm sure this will have probably the scariest soundtrack out of all of the haunted houses this year. I mean, just look at this facade. Look how creepy it looks. If you were just afraid of Halloween in general, you wouldn't want to be near this facade. In general, there's no scary elements to it quite yet. I'm sure they'll add some statues. I'm sure they'll add some more lights and more vines around this area. But it looks like this tombstone over here, which was just recently poured in. As you can tell, there's some dirt. So they just put in a body. That's a very small body if you really think about it. It's probably like 4 feet long. So it must be a child. Who knows? But they just uncovered this tombstone. It looks like they're going to be adding some wording, some names on these tombstones. They're still pretty blank. They haven't been distressed. They haven't been textured quite yet. This is still a fairly new tombstone, so I'd imagine this one looks a little more distressed because this was just put in. It's a newer one. So we'll probably see some more detail within the next few days on this facade. But yeah, it's starting to look more and more complete. Murdy did say that they want to have a statue, or they want to try to add a statue over here. But he also said that there's going to be a scare actor that walks out and starts talking. I think his name would be officially Muerte. And they're going to have an animated face for this character synced up with the audio that gives narrative onto the story. I just love detail. I just love this all. I'm pretty sure this is a real tree here. It's probably a real dead tree. They may have taken it from some of the construction over there and brought it here. Looks like there's some bird feathers on this too. That's probably not intentional. But yes, last night they had the lights on. I think they need to adjust some of these candles though. Like this one over here just tipped over, so someone needs to stand it back up. But everything else looks amazing. I probably didn't see the final product of the lighting. Looks like they just brought in these spotlights and a strobe up there. So I'd imagine like throughout the audio cue they'll have like lightning sounds or thunder sounds and lightning projected onto the facade. They also have these blue gel spotlights, so it'll have a blue tone to it as well, making it seem like it's outside, even though it is outside. Here's the current look of the Fast and Furious coaster project. Not too many visible changes since the last time we were here. I did notice they are starting to knock this little wall down already. But aside from that, nothing too crazy. It looks like they're primarily focusing on that far end by where special effects was. They're moving a lot of dirt. They're moving it offside as well. I could tell that these towers of dirt or these piles of dirt have been changing size every time I'm here. So they're probably just taking this dirt and moving it off-site just so they don't have a big clump of dirt. But yeah, they're primarily focusing on that farther end, mostly because the special effects show had a basement. And I'd imagine that basement goes pretty deep into the ground. I'd imagine there's some pipes and stuff that they need to remove as well. So they're probably working on taking all of that out right now. And since they're building all of this on the side of a hill, they're probably gonna have to go pretty deep into the ground to pour in the foundation. It's probably gonna have to be like one big thick block of cement. I don't know what it's called specifically, but whatever they pour in for foundation, it's gonna be a big thick block of that inside of this mountain. And looking down, they also removed almost all of the trees now. This is crazy. They're flattening it out slowly but surely. You can see that some construction vehicles have been moving past this or driving past this mountain as well now. Just a few weeks ago, this was full of trees. I'm just waiting for the moment that they put in some coaster track. I don't think they'll be done for a while. I think as soon as they finish deconstructing the buildings and pouring in the foundation and then building the buildings and the queue buildings and the station, that's when they'll start working on coaster track. But until that's constructed, I wouldn't expect us seeing any coaster track for another, I want to say 5 to 6 months. It's a long process to build a roller coaster from ground up, especially when you're building on the side of a mountain. I feel like that makes the coaster building process just a little longer. And now that it's sunset, how about we take a nice little stroll around the theme park? Look at the current state of everything. The park closes at 8 p.m. tonight, and I've been here since around 10 a.m. And I would say this is probably one of the busier days the theme park has had on a weekday. I'm actually really surprised that they closed the park at 8 p.m. instead of 10 p.m. That's usually what they would do on a busier day like this. This is in fact probably the busiest weekday I've seen at Universal in a while. The entire lower lot was over 100 minutes. There's just people everywhere. Even the Waterworld show we went to earlier, that was full completely. And now just walking around, it is pretty busy. But as we get closer to the Horror Night season, it makes sense why they start closing the park earlier. They need a test, they need a choreograph, they need to figure out how they're gonna make Horror Nights work, and they need time for that. So closing the park earlier allows them to have some time to train the scare actors, choreograph the little scaremony moment, and set up lighting. They obviously can't do that in the daytime with daytime park guests walking around. It wouldn't make sense. They also have a lot of lighting set up around the area. Looks like they set up more lights over here on these little rigs. The last time we were here, these rigs were set up, but no lights were set up on top. Now they have those lights set up. I like that during the Midsummer Scream panel, Murdy announced that there will be 3 crow stilt walkers around the entire theme park. So I'm excited to see how that's gonna work. Last year we had Edgar Allan Crow. Edgar Allan Crow will be making a return with his grandfather and I think his son. Is that right? But anyways, they'll be walking around the entire theme park. It's gonna be crazy. Those 3 scare actors are roaming scare actors, so they can be in every scare zone. They can walk around the entire theme park. I don't know if they'll come into Simpsons Land just because it gets a little too busy. I think Wizarding World would be the cutoff. Like they wouldn't go into the Wizarding World, but they'll just remain in that little hub and then just walk around and make a big loop around the theme park. But hopefully we get one of those scare actors, or maybe even some scare actors running around the lower lot. The lower lot doesn't really receive much for Horror Nights just because it's so small. But I hope maybe they can utilize that those crows at the lower lot as well. So maybe just have one roaming or a few roaming scare actors at the lower lot. And speaking of the lower lot, that's exactly where I'm headed right now. Here's a look at those wait times. The wait times definitely died down drastically. Like everything on the upper lot was 120 minutes up. But right now everything's about 80 minutes and down, which is nice. Here's a look down onto the Last of Us haunted house. It looks like they might actually be done. I don't think they're gonna add anything else to the facade. I hope they do. That'd be nice, but it doesn't seem likely. Also above the Transformers building. Oh, hold up, I see fog. They're testing fog right now, hold up. Look. Wow. Okay, that was cool. Anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, above the Transformers building, I'm just so mesmerized by the fog right now. In front of the, or on top of the Transformers building, they have some lighting rigs set up for the, I guess there's gonna be a walkway down there. You can see that. We're also gonna get on the studio tour later, just to take a look at the updates on Horror Nights, the Terror Tram, and everything else going on studio tour. All right, speaking of the lower lot, just made it down to the lower lot and we ran into some friends. So we're here with Jaden and Nathan. What's your favorite rides in the park? Harry Potter. I mean, the rope gave it away. How about you? Forbidden as well? All right, well, it was nice meeting you guys. Have a good one. Take care. All right, we're gonna make a pit stop over here because they set up Surfer Boy Pizza as one of the pop-up Horror Night foodie spots. So they announced Stranger Things 4 and Surfer Boy Pizza is a big foodie moment inside of the movie. There's a whole scene where they're even making pizza. But the thing with Surfer Boy Pizza is everything on the menu has pineapple on it. So hopefully for us pineapple haters, they have, actually this gives me an idea. They should name one of their pizzas the Pineapple Hater Pizza. But I don't think they're done quite yet. I think there's a little bit of theming they need to do up there. But take a look at the side. They just got this done today. And yeah, it's looking great so far. I would say they're going pretty heavy on lighting this year. I mean, looking around the lower lot, there's just lights everywhere. On all of these rigs, above Transformers, over here, over there. Another spot to get some treats would be the Studio Scoop. They're gonna be transforming it once again to Scoops Ahoy. So I'm very excited to see that make a return. Hopefully we'll get some new menu items as well.
Television, while other studios were focused just on filmmaking. That decision enabled Universal Studios to grow, and at that time, Universal Studios filmed and produced the most network television of any studio. We've got lots of Transformers and Fast and Furious vehicles here. Toward the back, that tan car is from The Mummy. The tall, kind of old-timey black car to the left of the car from The Mummy that says Smith's Piano Service was featured in Oh Brother Where Art Thou, starring George Clooney. These are all great examples of how just seeing a car on screen and nothing else can inform a ton about time period and Hitchcock's Psycho and its sequels. Beyond the motel is the house where Norman lived with his dear old mom in the original Psycho. I have heard rumors, if you look at the upper left corner window of the house as we pass by, you may just catch a glimpse of Mother there. Oh no. Folks, it looks like Norman himself is actually here on his porch. He doesn't seem to be too bothered by our presence, but I'd say it's probably best we get on out of here. Well, that was a close call for the 4th tram, but we all made it just in time to explore one of the largest sets ever constructed. This is the disaster site from the War of the Worlds, starring Dakota Fanning and Tom Cruise. We'll be returning to the theme park pretty shortly, so just time for another quick safety reminder. Remember to stay seated. Pull on that red cord if you are in need of assistance. We're making our way toward the newest addition to the studio tour. It is a set called Jupiter's Claim from the sci-fi thriller Nope. Nope is brought to us by Academy Award-winning director and writer George. Let's head on in to Jupiter's Claim.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible notion and bring it.
But to jump back on the topic of lights, they also set up some Christmas lights. Take a look at this. They just set this up. It wasn't on these trees a few days ago. So, I mean, it's okay. At least it's not Christmas decorations. At least it's only Christmas lights that they wouldn't be turned on, and it's kind of hard to see in general. But they've already set up some Christmas lighting. I wanted to walk into the Transformers vault because I don't know if you guys remember, a few months ago they started bringing in a lot of regular park merchandise into the store, and they've actually brought a lot more. So we have some Back to the Future stuff here, some Jaws. I like these little Bruce plushies. These are funny. I love these. Still have some Bates Motel merch over there as well. But it's interesting. I think it definitely increased sales, having some merchandise outside of Transformers in this store. They still have a fair share of Transformers merch, so that's always good. But yeah. Oh, I love these glasses over here. Hold on. Let me try these on. Oh yeah, these are great. Should I get these? And that'll wrap up today's update here at Universal. I'll be back in the next few days to take a look at some more updates. In the meantime, make sure to subscribe. I'm JP, and how they see in the movies. That's a wrap. I'll see you guys in the next one.